Kael's fingers hovered over the scanner, his gaze fixed on the sprawling city below. Neon lights blurred in the mist, streets twisting into patterns that seemed alive. The scanner had been silent for months, but tonight a signal pulsed urgent, insistent. A name appeared in glowing letters. Liora. He frowned, heart hammering. How could a name appear on a scanner meant only for data? Across the Skyport Bazaar, Liora felt a sudden tug at her chest. The bustling crowd of hovering vendors and drifting lights seemed to part for her, guiding her steps as though the city itself was urging her forward. She glanced at the neon signs, flickering overhead images she had never noticed before now seemed like clues. Her pulse quickened. Something was calling her, something beyond reason. Their paths converged on the bridge. Kael's hand brushed hers as the scanner hummed between them. Sparks of recognition and urgency shot through their fingertips. I don't know how this works, Kael said quietly, almost to himself. Liora smiled nervously. Maybe we're not supposed to know yet. A drone shrieked above, forcing them into shadows. They ducked beneath the bridge and discovered a small alcove. Floating there was a cube of light, pulsing as though alive. The Codex, Kael realized silently. Its glow responded to their proximity, projecting faint pathways through the city, invisible to ordinary eyes. Kael and Liora exchanged a glance, understanding that this was the beginning of something far larger than themselves. Curiosity mixed with fear as they reached for the cube together. The light pulsed stronger, syncing with their heartbeats. Outside, the city hummed in neon and mist, alive with secrets waiting to be revealed. Their journey had begun. The alleys twisted like veins as Kael and Liora navigated the crowded, neon-lit corridors. Drones patrolled overhead, their searchlights scanning for movement. Kael held the Codex close, its light flickering against rusted walls, while Liora's instincts guided their steps. Every brush of fingers was a reminder that their connection was as vital as caution. "Do you think it's safe?" Liora whispered. Kael shook his head. "Safe isn't the point. Alive is." His words were meant to reassure, but she could feel the tension vibrating in his voice. They found a doorway beneath rusted scaffolding, glowing faintly in Codex light. Liora hesitated. This feels like a trap," she said. Kael's hand brushed hers. "Then it's a trap we face together." Inside, the laboratory was a chaos of flickering screens, scattered holographic devices, and floating fragments of light. The Codex pulsed at the center, projecting fragments of memories, faces, places, events neither recognized, yet felt familiar. Every pulse synced with their heartbeats, teaching them that unity was the key to understanding it. As Kael reached for a floating fragment, it shifted, revealing images of courage, fear, and choices never made. Liora gasped. "It's like it knows us, or knows who we could be." Kael nodded. "Maybe both." The laboratory seemed to breathe, responding to their movements, their glances, and the tentative bond forming between them. The adventure had begun, not just a chase, but a journey of discovery. connection and trust that would challenge everything they thought they knew about themselves. Shadows flitted through the ruins outside as drones whirred overhead. Kael and Liora sprinted through narrow alleys, debris crunching beneath their feet. The Codex glowed, illuminating hidden paths and warning them of danger. Left, Liora shouted, pointing at a collapsing corridor. Kael veered, pulling her along. The drone's lights swept past, narrowly missing them. Each movement was a test of focus, timing, and trust. The Codex pulsed brighter with every synchronized action, guiding them like a heartbeat of the city itself. They stumbled into a small alcove to catch their breath. Liora's chest heaved. "They're fast, too fast," she said. Kael gritted his teeth. "Then we'll have to be faster, together." The ruins around them seemed to shift, as if alive. Walls moved subtly, corridors elongated, and the air hummed with unseen energy. Shadows of unknown watchers lingered in the corners of their vision. Each pulse of the Codex reminded them of its connection not just to the city, but to the pair themselves. Emerging into another alley, Kael glanced at Liora. "Do you feel it? The way it responds?" she asked. He nodded. "It's alive, guiding us because of us." Together, they moved forward, hearts pounding, ready to discover the secrets waiting at the city's heart. The ruins whispered as they moved. Faint holographic fragments appeared from broken walls, showing lives they hadn't lived. Moments of joy, fear, failure, and courage. Liora gasped at one vision, a scene of warmth, laughter, and companionship that felt deeply familiar, though she had never experienced it. Kael noticed a shadow flickering independently of the projections. "The city remembers," he murmured. "Not just us, but everyone tied to the Codex." They navigated collapsing corridors, shifting walls, and debris-strewn streets. Each step was a lesson in trust, choice, and resilience. When Kael faltered, Liora steadied him. When Liora hesitated, Kael guided her. Their hand-in-hand connection became more than emotional, it became practical, syncing with the Codex's pulse. "You feel that?" Liora whispered. The cube's glow brightened. "It's responding to us, to how we work together," Kael replied. The echoes were unsettling, but illuminating. Each memory and vision pushed them to trust more deeply in each other and in themselves. By the time they reached the edge of the ruins, the city had begun to feel alive in a way that was both thrilling and terrifying. Their adventure was no longer simply about survival, it was about discovery, unity, and understanding. A figure stepped from the shadows, draped in reflective threads that shimmered like the Codex itself. "I've been waiting for you," she said. "The Codex brought you here because your bond can protect it." Kael narrowed his eyes. "Protect it from whom?" "The pursuers," the woman replied. "They want control. If they succeed, everything, memories, choices, even your connection could be erased." Liora felt a shiver of fear as the Codex pulsed with intensity. The woman, Veyra, displayed a holographic map showing the floating city's towers, shifting streets, and hidden corridors. "Your unity is the key," she explained. Alone, you will fail. Together, you may succeed. Kael exchanged a glance with Liora. Then we move together, he said. She squeezed his hand, trusting his determination. Veyra's eyes glimmered. Good. The city will test you, but your bond, that is your greatest weapon. With the Codex lighting the path, the trio stepped forward into the unknown. Each footfall echoed through the ruins, a reminder that danger awaited, but also that hope, connection, and courage could guide them. Two glowing paths diverged in the ruins. The Codex pulsed, waiting for their decision. Liora glanced at Kael, heart pounding. "Which way?" she asked. Kael took a deep breath. Together, hand in hand, they stepped onto the path, feeling the cube respond with warmth. Illusions flickered around them. Kael saw visions of abandonment. Liora glimpsed isolation. Each challenge tested their bond, forcing them to speak, to encourage, to anchor each other. "You're not alone," Kael said quietly. "Never," Liora replied. Step by step, they navigated the illusions. The Codex pulsed brighter with every act of shared courage. Walls shifted, corridors opened, and light revealed hidden routes. Their unity transformed fear into guidance, proving that the Codex reflected not just the city's memory, but the strength of their connection. By the time the path merged into a central corridor, they understood that choice and trust were inseparable. Together, they moved toward the floating city, ready for what awaited. Above the ruins, a massive mechanical eye pivoted, scanning the city with precise motion. Kael and Liora froze, hearts hammering. The Codex pulsed, synchronized to their fear and resolve. They moved carefully, synchronizing steps and breath, following the cube's subtle guidance. The eye tracked, then turned away, granting them passage. Emerging into a courtyard, relief washed over them, but the sense of observation lingered. "Do you feel that?" Liora whispered. "It's like the city is alive," Kael said. Every flicker, shadow, and corridor seemed to respond to their connection. They realized that unity was as crucial as courage. Every heartbeat aligned with the Codex strengthened their chances of survival. The ruins twisted into a labyrinth, corridors shifting unpredictably. Kael confronted visions of abandonment. Liora faced isolation. Hand in hand, they navigated shifting walls, avoiding traps and dead ends. Each step required trust, courage, and complete reliance on each other. At the heart of the maze, a lever glimmered. Pulling it revealed a new corridor pulsing with the Codex's light. Their journey had tested their physical, emotional, and mental strength. The labyrinth was not merely an obstacle, it was a measure of trust, unity, and resilience. They stepped forward, stronger than before, ready for the floating city's challenges. Above the ruins stretched a city suspended in midair, neon towers, shimmering bridges, drifting airships. The Codex pulsed, guiding them to the tallest spire. Shadows moved across rooftops. Silent observers, Kael and Liora synchronized heartbeat and steps. the Codex lighting their path, the city responded to their connection. Corridors opening where unity was strongest. Air shimmered with electric anticipation, promising revelation, danger, and answers. Each step deeper into the floating city strengthened their bond, teaching them that trust and courage were intertwined, and that the Codex tested not only skill, but emotional unity. Inside the spire, walls reflected fears and memories, illusions designed to separate them. Kael confronted doubt. Liora faced isolation. Only by supporting each other did the shadows dissolve. The Codex pulsed brighter with every shared glance, step, and word. Streams of light and fragmented memories swirled around them, merging courage, fear, and connection. The floating city seemed to breathe, observing the pair. Exhausted but resolute, Kael and Liora stepped into a vortex at the spire's core, ready to face revelation, danger, and the culmination of their journey. Their bond had become the key not just to survival, but to shaping the future that awaited beyond the Codex.
Every story carries a lesson. If this one reached you, subscribe to watch more videos like this.